Okay, let's go to the next problem. Obviously, some very poor pinball players were playing, but there are 4 scorers on the machine. Let's turn the machine on. And let's hit the start button. Okay, the machine started up, ball kicked out. Let's add some players. So we got 4 players loaded. Now, I'll just take the ball and run it past some targets. There was 1 chime, and now we hear nothing. No score is showing up. I'm going to drain player 1. Player 2. Same thing. So the machine initially tries to score. You heard a chime, but after that there was nothing, and you probably couldn't hear it on the video, but there was a hum of a relay that was stuck on. So again, a recap of our symptom. Turn the machine on, all the score reels work, they seem to reset, but players 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 also would not score any points in the score reel. And after that first point score, there was 1 chime in the initial point score and then nothing after that, and there was a bit of a hum in the machine. What's our problem here? All right, here's our problem. Right here is a slip of paper that was blocking open a set of contacts on the hold relay. That's the R relay, and it was blocking open the red to the red-white switch. So let's look in the schematic, see what that looks like. Let's run through this hold relay circuit. It's pretty simple, at least the initial part is. Here at around schematic, section D20 is where you will find the R relay. And the circuit's very simple. Like I said, there's an anti-cheat switch that has to be normally closed. And then one of 2 switches has to close, either an R relay contact, which is the hold-on contact for the R relay, or a contact on the S relay, which is the start relay. So when the machine starts up, that's going to close, which is going to enable the hold relay. That's really all there is to the hold relay. Start the machine, this will close momentarily, it'll enable the R relay. Enabling the R relay turns on the hold-on contact, and the R relay stays on all the time. So then, what exactly does the R relay do, the hold relay do? Well, it has 4 sets of contacts. It has that hold-on contact, which we already talked about, and then it has 3 others. And we're going to look at each of these individually here. So we've seen the schematic before. This is the first ball relay, and in the previous episode I had where I had this, I talked about I thought there was an error in the schematic, and here's a correction on my part. The actual schematic says that the way they've drawn the schematic is the machine is reset, the ball is in the runway, and the machine is unplugged. So when the machine's unplugged, this switch will be closed. But because the machine is on, it's actually open. Now I hope this makes sense. So yes, it's different than the schematic. When you have the machine on and the ball is in the runway, these switches are not accurate, but if you unplug it, then these switches are accurate. So this is one set of contacts. This is the second set of contacts for the hold relay. And again, normally that would be open. It's only if we unplug it that it would close. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, and I believe that this is a part of the startup. This switch contact has to do with the first ball relay and the machine startup, and we'll see that later on, I think. Here is the third contact for the R relay, the hold relay, and it's for the BX reset. So then again, that's going to be involved during machine startup. So we don't have to worry about it in this case, but I wanted to show where all 4 contacts are. So let's move on to the root of our problem. Okay, so this is really where the problem is, and this is around schematic section I-15. On the far right hand side, so well actually let's start on the left hand side. So the N, M, and L contacts are all from the scoring relays, 10, 100, and 1000. Every time points are made on the playfield, these relays trigger depending on how many points. So if we have 10-point rollover, it's going to enable the N relay, and the contacts are going to close here, which will enable the add 10s unit. And remember these P1D, P2D, P3D, P4D, those close as you rotate through the player. So if you're on player 3, P3D is going to be closed, the others are open. And if player 3 is playing and they run over a 10-point rollover, you're going to see them score. That's assuming one thing. That's assuming that this contact right here is closed. This is the fourth contact from the R relay. And what happens is when the machine is on, this is a normally closed connection. Again, remember, the schematic shows as the machine is fully reset, the ball is in the runway, ready to shoot, and then you unplug the machine. So the hold relay is only on when the machine's on, so the schematic shows it open. When the machine is on, this switch normally is closed. So what happens is, this is a closed contact right here. Every time you get 10 points, let's say, now you're going to have a circuit. In our example, we went through player 3D. It's going to enable the add third tens relay. That add third tens relay is the score reel for player 3, in this case the 10-point score reel. So what did we see in the problem? Remember that the first time we got points, the chime worked, but we didn't get any score on the machine because this contact was open. And I mentioned that there was a humming in the machine. What caused that humming? Well, let's look at this. So let's assume R is closed, which it would be normally. And if points are made on N, it's going to enable this, again in our example, the player 3 tens relay. When that happens, here's that 10-point relay. It's enabled, and then there is a hold relay from the N relay to keep it on, and it's going to keep that circuit closed and keep that N relay energized until one of these 4 switches open. And again, in our case, we're talking about player 3. What would happen is the N relay is enabled, the hold on is on, it's going to stay on until this on add third tens switch opens. That is on the score reel mechanism, and that is a switch that is there to prevent the relays from locking on all the time. Since in our problem, we were never able to trigger the score reels, the N relay was on all the time, and that's that hum you heard. So our problem was we blocked this open, and the N relay could still work. It's somewhere else on the machine. But the N contact, when it closed, it could not close, it could not enable the relay for player 3 because this R contact was open all the time. Since the R contact's open, none of the score reels will work. Since none of the score reels will work, when a specific scoring relay, in this case the 10-point relay, activates, it can't ever shut off because the score reels are not moving. And that's what that humming was, and you don't want to leave it on too long. I think it'll probably cook the relay if you leave it on too long. So I want to try to show a couple things. Way back there in the right, I don't know, right here, where my fingers are kind of dancing around, that's the back box anti-cheat switch. And then if you want to see on the score reels where those on add 10 or 100 or 1000 are, they're on these switch banks in the bottoms of the score reels, and those switches are made when the plunger pulls back. So when a score reel plunger pulls back, it closes or it activates some switches here, changes state on these switches, and I believe they are white, blue, and silver are the ones that are for the on add 10, on add 100, on add 1000. And remember, those are the switches that have to open to shut off the scoring relays, which are here, N, M, and L.